Once upon a modern day, in the quaint and ancient land of Bulgaria, there lay a university with the grandiose moniker of the American University in Bulgaria. It was here that my tale unfolds, a narrative steeped in the bitterness of shattered dreams and the profound sorrow of unmet expectations. I arrived at this institution with the naivety of a babe fresh from the womb of my Eastern European homeland. I imagined ivy-clad walls whispering wisdom, verdant quadrangles humming with the vibrant exchange of ideas, and professors, those venerable sages, imparting knowledge like the steady drip of a springtime thaw. Alas, my reality was to be a far cry from this idealized reverie. From the moment I set foot upon the hallowed grounds, I was besieged by an interminable wait, a harbinger of the trials that lay ahead. The canteen, that supposed haven of nourishment and respite, was my first adversary. Here, the fare was not merely lackluster, it was an affront to the senses. Picture, if you will, a cup of water, so simple, so pure, yet even this humble beverage was beyond the grasp of competence. The liquid, when it deigned to grace my parched lips, was tepid, carrying with it the faint echo of rust and neglect. How can one excel academically when the very essence of life is served with such disdain? The dormitories, those sanctuaries of rest and contemplation, were but a cruel jest. I remember the wallpaper, peeling at the edges like the pages of a discarded diary, revealing the secrets of those who came before us, secrets of frustration and despair. My room, a veritable menagerie of vermin, became a battleground where I waged war against the unyielding tide of roaches. The Rees life, those purported guardians of our well-being, were as effective as a sieve in a tempest. Their solution, a mere spritz of ineffectual pesticide, served only to mock my plight. Ah, but let us speak of the bureaucracy, that labyrinthine maze of paperwork and penury. Each document I signed was a shackle, binding me to an institution that seemed to delight in the extraction of coin. For the privilege of resting one's weary mind, a leave of absence required not just the signatures of Hippocrates and Galen, but also a monetary tribute that would make Midas blush. The education, the very raison d'etre of this academic edifice, was a gamble, a roll of the dice. For every pedagogical gem, there were a dozen purveyors of knowledge so lackluster that one might suspect they were conjured from the ether of apathy. The hallowed halls echoed not with the clarion call of enlightenment, but with the monotone drone of indifference. The dormitory staff, those self-appointed royals of residence, wielded their power with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. Fines were doled out with the capriciousness of a tempest, and to appeal was to tilt at windmills. The Ras, those anointed custodians of our temporal abode, were as approachable as the icy spires of the Carpathians. Their gaze, cold and imperious, cut through the warmth of camaraderie like a blade forged in the fires of aloofness. And oh, the isolation! The campus, a solitary island in the sea of Bulgarian countryside, offered little in the way of diversion. The town, with its paucity of halal options and early closing establishments, was a Sahara of social interaction, vast, desolate, and devoid of life after dusk. My heart aches as I recount the tales of those who, like me, found themselves adrift in this sea of disillusionment. The students, those bright and shining stars, were the sole beacon of hope in this academic twilight. Their friendships were the silver lining to the thunderhead of our collective experience. Yet even their light could not pierce the veil of institutional inadequacy.
Businesses near the American University in Bulgaria feel like a practical joke that forgot to end. I came expecting student town sparkle. I left wondering if the whole neighborhood had agreed to treat wallets like piñatas and patience like trash. The moment you step off campus, you sense the shrug cafes that serve warm cola with no ice, mouths that smell of damp carpet and broken promises, hardware shops where the staff swear at you in 3 languages and still shortchange you in all of them. Nothing works, yet everything costs. It is a masterclass in paying premium prices for clearance rack misery. Let me walk you through the crime scene, starting with the so-called shopping heart of the zone, Largo Mall. Locals call it a mall, I call it a single HM wearing a trench coat and pretending to be a city. Inside, the corridors echo like a school after detention. Signs promise opening hours that the security guard has apparently never heard of. I watched a waitress forget an order, blame the customer, then vanish into a cloud of her own indifference. My pineapple juice arrived as a cloudy glass of flavored tap water, so thin you could read a resignation letter through it. A pizza followed that tasted like cardboard that had once seen a photograph of cheese. When I dared to complain, the waiter performed a hand wave that clearly meant, "Go away, I am busy practicing my apathy." 25 minutes later, the same waiter was still sitting with colleagues, gossiping like the clock had been unplugged. The bill, of course, arrived faster than the food, astronomical numbers printed in bold, as if the printer itself was embarrassed and wanted to get it over with. If you treasure either flavor or dignity, Largo Mal will feel like a fever dream you cannot wake up from. Shift to hardware needs, and the mood darkens further. Westlake Ace Hardware sits on the edge of town like a grumpy troll under a bridge, except the bridge is out of stock, and the troll demands triple the advertised price. Picture this: you spot pool shock on the website for 3 lever, drive 25 kilometers through mountain fog, and discover the shelf tag now says 9. When you politely ask, the clerk sighs so deeply you fear the floor will collapse, then mutters profanity as though you invented mathematics. One reviewer confessed he would rather drive to another city than endure another sentence of that staff's creative cursing. Shelves echo with empty space. Products that do exist hide behind other products, forming a real-life escape room. Nobody wins. The store offers no military discount, no student discount, no discount on disappointment. You leave with empty hands and a new personal rule: if it is not broken when you enter, it will be broken by the time you leave. Coffee culture should rescue the day, yet even the cafes near campus feel like they were designed by someone who read about hospitality in a dystopian novel. Hangout specialty coffee cocktail bar sounds promising. Specialty is in the name, after all. Step inside, and the promise evaporates faster than the foam on a neglected cappuccino. Reviews are mysteriously blank, as though patrons were too depressed to finish the sentence. One brave soul awarded 3 stars but left 0 words, the digital equivalent of a sigh. Imagine ordering a flat white and receiving a cup that tastes like it was brewed through a gym sock, then priced like it was blessed by monks. You sit on a wobbly stool, stare at a wall that proudly displays exposed brick and exposed cables, and realize the true speciality is the art of making time crawl. The cocktail list reads like a cry for help: mixtures no one asked for, served by bartenders who look like they would rather be anywhere else, possibly in another dimension. Even the boutiques, such as Amon Concept Store, join the conspiracy.
From the street, the window glows like a promise. Inside you find 4 t-shirts, 2 candles, and a sales assistant who follows you with the enthusiasm of a bored cat. One reviewer called the place very nice, which in local code means at least nothing caught fire. Prices hover at Paris level, quality hovers at car boot level, and the concept appears to be: let us see how long we can keep the lights on before someone notices we have nothing to sell. Add up these snapshots, and the pattern is surgical businesses near the American University of Bulgaria treat every customer like a final exam they forgot to study for. Warm drinks, cold food, slower service than a government office on a Friday, prices that require a student loan to settle. You will queue, you will overpay, you will be scolded as if you interrupted a family argument, and you will leave.
Businesses near American University in Bulgaria, they can be tricky sometimes. Like, tourists think it is safe, but then small things happen. One time, a shop near the university gave fake money as change. A tourist paid with big bill and the cashier gave back counterfeit notes. The tourist probably did not notice until later, when another shop refused the money. They must have felt so stupid, but it is not their fault. The scammer probably got away with it because tourists do not stay long to complain. Another thing that happens near American University in Bulgaria is short change tricks. Like, you buy something cheap, hand over exact cash, but the cashier says you gave less. They pretend to count wrong and you lose money. Tourists in a hurry do not argue, they just walk away. The scammer keeps doing it because no one stops them. It is so unfair. I bet they target tourists because they know they will not come back. Then there are fake tax inspectors. Some shops near the university get visited by people pretending to be officials. They say the business owes fines and demand cash on the spot. The owners panic and pay. Tourists do not see this, but if a shop gets scammed, prices go up for everyone. So even visitors pay more because of these liars. The fake inspectors probably disappear before police come. And you know what else? Some stores sell fake alcohol. Tourists buy cheap drinks, but it is not real. They drink it, feel sick, and think it is just strong, but it is dangerous. The shop does not care because tourists leave soon. The police might check sometimes, but the bad bottles come back. It is sad, you know. American University in Bulgaria is a good place, but around it, some people take advantage. Tourists come for 2 weeks, trust the shops, and lose money. The scammers keep doing it because no one makes them stop. I wish it was different.